welcome to Stillspeakpod. Last night I actually recorded a video that was about an hour long, and I was going to be addressing some of the drama involved in the Lateche Norris story. And after I recorded it, which I was really hesitant about even recording, I decided to listen to it, and at that point my gut told me to not even bother uploading it and to just let it go, let it die down, and that be that. Well, I wanted to say just a few things. So Lateche Norris was found, and she is alive and she is safe. From what we've been told by her stepfather, she is choosing to stay living homeless with Joey in San Diego. She's 20 years old, so she can make that choice. Our goal on this channel and with every single case is to share missing persons stories. Once they are found and there is a conclusion, depending on that conclusion, we will either move on to the next case or we will continue to follow the story for more updates into a trial. There was a ton, if you did not see it, of accusations and slander and attacks against Lateche's mother, Cheryl Walker. And the accusations involved being accused of creating a scam of her daughter being missing to collect GoFundMe money. And when I saw this information, I was really pissed off, and not at Cheryl Walker. I was pissed off that there were credible people in the true crime community who helps with missing persons cases who were leading the charge on these accusations and slander and assumptions. And I say those words because I saw very little proof, very little fact, and a whole lot of assumptions. And I also saw certain things said that showed to me that some of them have not been following missing person cases that long. If they had, they would know that a lot of things that they thought were red flags coming from Cheryl Walker were not red flags and actually rather common. So I can't fault them for lack of experience, and they do work hard to help with missing persons cases, so I will give them props there. The problem is when people believe that you are credible and you start running with these sorts of things on a day that is supposed to be joyous, it definitely hurts your credibility. In addition to that, when another family has a missing loved one, they will be hesitant to contact you or anybody else who's willing to help them out of fear that once the case is resolved, that you will do the same to them. So while you believe that what you're doing by attempting to out somebody is helpful and a way to warn other people, in the long run, it can actually be harmful to other families. And in addition to that, I would like to say that if you make any case about yourself, that you weren't thanked, that you weren't this, that you weren't that, and that, etc., then I would say that you need to reflect on why it is that you want to help with missing persons cases to begin with. It's not about us. And if you think it is, that's the problem. It's not about us. And I also wanted to say that when I saw these accusations, I did my own research. I came to the conclusion at this time that I do not believe it to be a scam. But when I saw these accusations, I was curious because they were making a very big deal about this GoFundMe. A very big deal. And in other cases, especially the high-profile ones like Gabby Petito, Shanann Watts' case, etc., their GoFundMes were well over $100,000, which is a significant amount of money. Once GoFundMe takes a huge chunk of that money, you get the remaining amount, and GoFundMe takes a lot. So, when I saw people making such a big deal out of the GoFundMe, I was curious, because I hadn't even looked at the GoFundMe, on how much money Cheryl Walker had actually made to aid in locating her daughter. And when I opened it, I was stunned, because it was only $7,200. Not $72,000, not $720,000, $7,200. That's it. Take out fees and you're looking at about $6,600. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. If you really believe that someone went through all this trouble to make up a missing daughter just to collect $6,600, wow. That's all I gotta say about that. And even if she did, and she only made under $7,000 with the fees taken out, okay, that's it, that's nothing. That amount of money can be spent in an hour. Depending on where you live, that could be 3 months of rent, maybe even 2 months of rent, depending if you live in a big city. And if you feel scammed, or you feel that something about the story was shady, and you donated to the fund, do a refund. That's all you have to do. Just take your money back and call it a day. That's it. A subscriber on this channel made a comment, and I really like this person, and there was nothing against her comment, but what she said had me thinking. And what she said was simple. She said, I think we were scammed. And I had to think about that. And because I came to the conclusion that I don't think that it was a scam based upon my own research, and hey, I could be wrong, I don't feel scammed because I did this for the right reasons. I covered her story because I was concerned for her. It cost me nothing except some time of my life to make a couple of videos, put her pictures and name out there, and call it a day. So no, I don't feel scammed. If it is a scam, I still wouldn't feel scammed because I did the right thing. I saw a mom and I saw a daughter who needed help, and I helped in the best way that I know I can help. And no, I don't feel scammed in any way, shape, or form. In the video that I decided not to upload, I went into a whole breakdown on why I don't believe it to be a scam. I talked about criminal histories, and I read to you some of the accusations, and I talked about it, and then I talked about how most of these accusations were assumptions that were very close-minded. We need to be careful to not run with every little thing you see on the internet. You have to be careful. Anybody can say they're anybody, and anyone can come on and be anybody and say anything. It doesn't make it true. It doesn't make it fact. It makes it rumor. In addition, the San Diego Police Department did put out a statement that Lateche was found, that she thanked everybody for their concern, and they did mention that she was not a victim and is not a victim of a crime. And that speaks volumes. They used past and present tense, was and is not a victim of a crime. And that came out hours after all these accusations were flying all over social media. And I think the statement speaks volumes, because if this had been a scam, then Lateche would have been a victim of a crime. And they're saying she was not a victim and is not a victim of a crime. Once a story ends in somebody being found safe, that's it. The story is over, and what happens from that point is none of our business. What Lateche wants to do now by staying with Joey is none of our business. What goes on in Cheryl's life, her stepfather's life, the father's life, none of our business. From this point on, we have no say or no inclusion at all in these people's lives. At all. Just saying. If you didn't donate to the GoFundMe, then you can just walk away and move on to the next case. Because even if this was a scam, this was one scam out of hundreds of stories that aren't scams. It shouldn't even take up our time, because all the time that was taken up to make all these accusations and assumptions could have went to helping somebody else. Just my opinion. And if you did donate to the GoFundMe and then later you now feel duped or deceived or whatever the case may be, ask for a refund and then move on with your life. And next time, if you see a GoFundMe, consider looking into it further before donating to it. At this point, Lateche is doing her thing. The story is over, and I no longer want to discuss it. In other cases, if a person is found safe but was a victim of a crime, let's say they were held captive and somebody was arrested and it goes to trial, then of course we would continue to discuss it. If somebody is murdered, we will continue to discuss it all the way to the very end. But once somebody is found safe and they're back at home or doing whatever they want to do like she's doing, okay, they deserve privacy. And we should respect that. And we close out the case and we say, okay, great, they were found, everything was okay, moving on. Because there's thousands of other people who want attention. And they deserve time too. And the only reason I made this video is because I commented on the video after she was found safe about how I was going to be addressing these accusations. And then I did address the accusations. And the reason I chose not to even bother uploading the video last night was because I'm not looking to have drama with anybody. And I think the people that I saw making these accusations and assumptions really do, the majority of the time, do a really good job with these missing persons cases. And I didn't want to come out fully, attacking them for what they did on a day that should have been joyous, because I didn't want to diminish the work that they do in other cases. I just wish they would have thought about it a little bit more thoroughly before taking it to social media, because it could be something that turns off other families from seeking help from the public. And a lot of cases lately, it's been proven that the public can be a massive help in resolving cases. And the last thing I want is for these families of missing loved ones to be fearful or turned off to wanting to use the public's assistance. Again, if this was a scam, well, she made less than $7,000. And the next morning after Lateche was found, she updated the GoFundMe to reflect that she had been found. If she really wanted to continue to grow that GoFundMe, Why would she do that? She would have just kept up the story and continued to let it go on, not stop at $7,200, making out with only about $6,600. And hey, it could still be a scam. I could be totally wrong. As a matter of fact, I was wrong about Lateche. I didn't think she was choosing to live in a homeless camp, but that was what ended up happening. So if it turns out that it's a scam, I'm okay with being wrong. We can't always be right. We can't get every case, accurate. And it is what it is. At the end of the day, I did something out of the kindness of my heart because I genuinely cared about her being missing. It cost me nothing but my time to do. And if it turns out that it was a scam, I will not feel in any way, shape, or form that I need to come on here and bash, attack, and slander her mother and stepfather, etc., because I won't feel the least bit like I was deceived, because I didn't do it because of what she was saying. I was doing it because I cared. I don't have a large platform yet. I'm getting up there. I'm close to getting into the YouTube algorithm. And I'm hoping that we get there soon so that we can help more families. But my goal on this channel is to A, discuss cases, and B, to help in any way I can because I genuinely want to, not because I feel forced to. So that's it. That's all I wanted to say instead of sharing the hour-long video that I made last night. As far as I'm concerned, Lateche, Norris, and her boyfriend Joey, I wish them the best of luck. And they might need it. And I wish her mother the best of luck accepting where her daughter was this whole time and that she is choosing to continue to live that lifestyle. But as far as I'm concerned, on this channel, you will never hear that name again. She is safe, she's alive, and that's all that matters. So thanks. I just wanted to get that out because I did say I was going to address it, and those are just a few things I wanted to make sure I put out there. So until next time, I'll see you soon.